Oh yeah, man. The only thing that sucks, I was telling Alex, like I'm so used to stimulants, and I had to come off them for the past couple of days, and
Mm.
bro, it sucks, man.
Yeah. If Drew can't, I wanted, cause I wanted to get Dustin's coming on. I wanted to get him on. Oh,
Yeah. I mean, if Drew has to bail out, Dustin can basically fill in after that. If he's is he coming on at 7?
like I told him like 7:15, 7:20.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
was trying to get, there he is.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yep. All right. It's still
What is
Wi-Fi. I
it?
just went off Wi-Fi and came back on because that's all I have. I do LTE. It does not work.
All right.
Damn.
But,
Damn.
well, first things first, brother, happy birthday. How you
Happy
feel?
Thank
birthday,
you.
man.
How's 30 feeling?
I feel good. I
Yeah.
mean, the same as 29. It's just like, when you get all the birthday wishes and everybody kind of talking, yeah, it kind of feels like it's a little bit more special of a day, but it's really not that different. I mean, you guys know it's just kind of celebrating this year and then coming up with, or previous years, and then coming up with, I'm somebody that tries to every year add something in there, like a goal or something. I'm going to be more financially and independent this year as far as managing money management. I spend a lot of stupid money on stupid shit. And
Yeah.
so I think I got to budget that a little bit better.
I think I
So
gotta
that's
do
one of the
that
main
too.
goals. Yeah.
If you could give advice to people in now in their 20s, in bodybuilding specifically, that you learned
Hey, hold on.
Avoid women.
Oh, okay.
what you said?
Avoid women. Early 20s, bro. Like it's very rare that you're going to find your life partner when you're in your 20s. Just so happens a few of us do. Um, but there are a lot of toxic traits that 20-year-old guys have that attract toxic women. And when there's two toxic people together, it creates a lot of
Yeah.
problems, especially when you have the drugs, the mindset, the competitive nature, the ego. And sometimes you got to be checked in life, for you to kind of understand what you need. And that happened to me many times. So that's the main thing that I see with a lot of younger guys that have ego. I think they need to reevaluate their true priorities and maybe focusing on that before women, avoid women in the meantime.
Fair enough. Aaron, what you turned 37, what, 2 days ago?
37, bro.
That's you think
Old ass nigga over here, bro.
Or happy birthday, another cancer.
Old ass nigga over here, man.
all right, you got any advice that you've learned in your 37 years you can give to any bodybuilders coming up?
As far as bodybuilding, no. I just rather just give you more general advice. It's just play your cards right. Always be yourself, because trying to be people that come in your life, pause, and get out of your life, and the thing is you have to have you got to be selective with who you got in your circle,
Yeah.
and one thing about me is I've learned to minimize my circle a lot, and just even thinking about it, bro. I just had a birthday dinner last night too. And those people that I was around are probably the closest to me, and I'm in McAllen. Like the only person that I would have had from Fresno is probably my sister, my parents, my Zach, and that's it. So like when you talk about circles being small and people that you want to put yourself around, and you got to keep that shit small, bro. You got to keep it small.
Yeah.
The tournament was real last night. Tournament was real.
Not to
What,
take
what?
from what you just said, but um, I couldn't agree more, man. I think I've realized in my life that having a smaller inner circle, a more impactful inner circle, means more than having a lot of fluff around you. And
Right.
I think you'll learn that a lot in bodybuilding as well, man. A lot of people are about themselves and not oftentimes are willing to sacrifice for people they care about. They say it because it's sexy on social media, but
Right.
when it comes to actually getting down to it, doing something that's uncomfortable for you to make your other people
Right.
comfortable, it's
And that's the thing. Like I've had to not really necessarily have these conversations, just like just stop answering text messages that I don't need to answer. Or, it's just stop answering the phone. Like, yo, bro, why you acting brand new? Bro, I'm just on a different wave. Like the wave I'm on right now, you're not included in it. And the way you move in is not the way I want to move. So
Is
it's just the small things like that, bro. Like people all I mean, bro, so many messages in my phone, bro, just unread. But it gets like that, especially when you you're juggling so many different things from fatherhood to entrepreneur to bodybuilding to all these contracts to bro everything that's going on in my life, bro. I can't sit there and just message everybody back nor make sure I'm giving attention to people that I don't need to give attention to.
Yeah, you said it perfectly, bro. Like it's making sure you're selective with where you give your energy. You know what I mean? Like because there's a lot of people out here will drain the hell out of you. And I'm sure you guys learned that. Drew turning 30, you in your 37 years. It's not just bodybuilding, it's life in general. Right? Be selective.
Literally.
Um, but I couldn't agree more, man. Now, is there any goal that you have in this 37th year before we transition over to the show?
I'll be a millionaire by the end of this year. That's been a goal of mine for a while. Um, but there's a couple deals that I just landed, maybe even, I mean, just last week. That's about to pop off that I haven't told anybody about, but it's going to be one of those big time deals to where it's going to take me over the edge when it comes to financial being free.
There's not a lot of
Um,
bodybuilders who are millionaires.
no, and then we got what me and Perla got going on with these laser companies. We're about to open up another one here, so that'll go on her seventh, and then we'll probably open up two in Fresno, which will push us at nine. So again, she also has her supplement line. I got my vitamin line. So it's just the
Diversify.
goal is just to
Yeah,
just stay grabbing money from all different industries, bro.
yeah. Diversify your portfolio. All right. Drew, can you see the screen?
See it.
All right. I want to break down the show. I know you got a birthday dinner to go to. So I want you to give your analysis from what you've seen online, social media, and then also Chris and I were at the show as well. You know, we can give you that perspective. But first things coming in at sixth place, Anthony Lacey.
Okay, so I haven't seen this guy before. He has really round muscle bellies, a lot of potential, a lot of fullness. Really, really good conditioning in this lineup. Definitely stood out, probably with being one of the most dense guys that's up there, along with Mr. Reps and Andre.
Yeah.
The back needs work. I think a lot of it's posing. The front pose needs work a lot. I think the front pose is his more complete pose out of the two, but he just needs to not pinch that pack, needs to open up, be a little bit more relaxed to where he could just kind of highlight what he has because it's all there in the front pose. And the
I was going
back
to say,
pose,
open up the back as well. I noticed.
yeah, the back pose, he has the density. It's just
Yep.
like Alex talks about the detail. You could see with the other guys just having a more detail. You could tell definitely with time, it's going to be another thing. And also the width. It's not that he doesn't have the width or may not have the width. He's just showing that he doesn't have the width, and
Yeah.
that could be an easy posing change. That's probably what Chris is trying to get to. It's hard to say what a physique lacks or not based on what they're just showing. Steve Weinberger is big on that. Like he can only judge what he's being shown on stage. Doesn't matter what your Instagram is. You can hit it good on Instagram one day, go on stage, pinch up, and not show it. So
Couldn't agree more. I
it doesn't
think
go off of what you look like in different poses.
he's been a physique that really has been impressing me. Truthfully, going into he does Worlds, and seeing his peak at Worlds was definitely one of the better peaks at the entire show. He looked phenomenal. This show here, he looked great when he first initially walked out, and
He
then
started sweating.
he started to sweat a lot.
Started to fade.
Yeah,
Yep.
like, and then that fullness that he had started to really come down. You could literally see him kind of like losing size on
I
stage.
was going to say, I thought he was a favorite whenever he walked out at the beginning because he was so impressive. But then Jake, the head judge there, really works them. I mean, he works them. Even the amateurs that were there, he was working them like 10 rounds. So at the end of those rounds, he was dripping, man.
Yeah, he was. And it didn't take a lot either. So that's the one thing. I know he peaked with a little bit more.
That's what happens, man, when it comes to posing conditioning. But it also could be on your coach too, on how he either fed you or whatever the case may be to make you sweat like that.
I spoke to
Yeah.
him. It was too much sugar in his diet, like right before, which was untraditional.
Yeah, he spiked in his insulin, probably just
just
you know,
right on.
So
Focus.
it dropped.
sensitivity dropped.
Yep.
But again, this dude has a lot of potential, and he's one of those guys who are slowly coming on the scene here in this season.
Absolutely.
Two top 6
Yeah,
fights.
I first saw him at Worlds. He looked good.
Yeah, really good. All right. What did you see here, Drew, with D coming in at 5th?
Washed out. I mean, he definitely had a lot of improvements with size, but you could definitely tell that he wasn't. When you see his Miami look from last year, we all compare that Deke Walker, and that's the closest thing to 100% that we're going to see as far as fullness in his conditioning.
Yeah.
Now, this show, you know, just taking it with a grain of salt, me not being there, just looking at those photos, even looking at the photos, everybody is harder from the front than Deke. You know, now from the back, you could argue that his back conditioning, his detail, everything, separation is up there. But his front was full, but not as conditioned, not as polished as some of these other guys. Now, I don't know if it was oil. I don't know, you know, what it would be. You guys were there in person.
Yeah.
So, you know, you could kind of finish it there.
Chris, what did you see?
Oh, 100% what Drew just said. I mean, I'm just making assumptions on what may have happened. I think he may have filled up a little bit too much, which you're going to see that spill on the front end. Usually whenever I see abs that are like that, a little bit washed out, it's just from going a little bit too much on the feeding beforehand. But really, like Drew said, I think the back was pretty crisp. It could have obviously been a little bit crispier, but the front was it didn't look good to me. And he can be way better. Like we were just showing on Miami. We usually talk about him being one of the most conditioned guys on stage or even in the IFBB, and it just wasn't the case at this show.
Yeah.
Takes him time too. It takes him time. You know, he took some time off. I know he pulled out of Miami due to some personal reasons. You know, he'd be a guy that would be cool to get on here and actually talk about some of this stuff. Because the mindset is the biggest thing. You know, I know he's not going to be done. You know, you get on stage thinking you can pull it off sometimes, and then when you get checked, it might make you push a little bit harder when you kind of knock off those cobwebs coming back. So it's another thing that's going to fuel him. I know he's hungry. He's been at the top. He's been, you know, second at one of the most competitive shows last year in the season before the Olympia. So knowing this look that he brings, that's what we recognize him for, and we know him, and that's the standard we hold him to. That's what he needs to do again.
Yep. If Deke Walker brings this physique to any show that's remaining this year, I think he's a front runner. I think Deke Walker in this physique can stand next to damn near.
So now he pushed Vitor.
Yeah, exactly, and it's been proven at this show specifically. But the version that I saw at the Florida Pro. The St. Pete Pro was probably the worst Deke that I've seen to date, though. I'm being fully transparent. This is coming from a Deke fan, somebody who truly wants to see him succeed. Like standing backstage, he always looks freaky, bro, because he's always like conditioned. You know what I mean? Like he always looks lean, but it just the pop at this show. As soon as he got under the stage lights, it just again.
That's okay. Yeah. Sometimes it happens, man. I mean, sometimes these things happen. There's so many different factors to it that you're going to be off every now and then. That's okay. So he'll come back stronger. We know he will.
Yeah. Before we go on,
I talked to him before the show. You know, my main thing was just saying, "Hey, go make it happen." You know, and the thing is even with this placing, it should definitely make him hungry.
Yeah,
it should make him hungry for sure.
Again, he has an Olympian ready physique. He just needs to nail it. You know, he's one of those guys. You guys hear me say it all the time. Right, high ceiling, low floor. He's one of those guys that if he can nail his look, you know, he can stand next to anybody. What up, Dustin?
What up? What up, y'all?
Turn your phone sideways.
All right, hold on. It's my first time doing this. Give me a second. Hold on.
No, you're good, bro. But before we catch up with Dustin, I do want to talk about 4th place, Mario Stewart. Chris,
you get my other tripod, y'all?
Yeah, you can get a tripod.
What were you saying?
Chris, you saw him in person, Mario Stewart.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, and what do you see in his future?
Bro, he is one of the more round people. Whenever I was backstage looking at everyone pumping up, his structure is what stands out to me the most. I think he had one of the most impressive structures besides the guy who's in 3rd place up there, Mr. Reps. The way he poses is very, very he exudes confidence whenever he poses too, which makes me like his physique even more.
Yeah.
So I would say out of this top 6 right here, he has probably the most potential in the future to be something big, just because, man, like I said, I'm always backstage looking at these physiques. I'm like, what would I want to look like? And Mario is one of those guys that's just like, you look at him, you're like, that's a great physique, man.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think he has probably the most polished physique in this lineup. I think he has one of the best structures in this lineup. I saw him as just he needs that deeper separation. That's
Yep.
it because
Is
he
it
has
better, y'all?
everything else. I can hear you, brother. We can't see you.
All right, hold
I'm telling you, there he is. What's
on.
up,
Is it
brother?
better? Y'all see me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's good now. Yep.
What up?
How you
I
feeling,
only
champ?
see it. All right, I was gonna say I only see Alex. I see you now, Chris.
Oh, you're probably swipe on your phone. You're probably in like
Yeah,
singular.
the phone, I don't
Oh,
see
he
anybody
got
either,
the
but I had to play around with it.
I'm on Zoom. Hold on.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
click your
Y'all,
view,
y'all,
and
I swear to
it
God, I'm
should be
not
able to.
slow. I'll figure this out. Hold on.
Bodybuilders
Thank
and
God you're good at bodybuilding, man.
It's crazy.
and he put on the eagle.
Hold
He
on, hold on,
put on
hold
the
on, hold
Eagles
on.
hat too. I like it.
All right,
All right.
yo, my bad.
No, you're good, bro.
But no, Mario Stewart his physique is dope.
Yeah.
He like that's my boy. So
Do,
I'm excited to see what he does.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, do you think
I
it's
just
just
I
One
just need
thing, one thing that I want to say about Mario, well, we were on Deke Walker, so everybody that placed above Deke Walker has been a seasoned competitor this year that is slowly and incrementally have gotten better.
yeah,
Whether it's a small little detail, peaking, fullness, whatever it may be, they have slowly gotten better. So that's another thing that
All
kind of
right.
puts Deke ahead of it or behind it a little bit
Y'all see me now?
right
yeah.
now, but he's going to catch up.
now we can we can't see you, bro.
All right.
Now we can
There we
see
go.
you.
All right. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
You
Cool.
good?
All right. Yeah. Got it. My bad,
All
y'all.
right, we're good.
First
We're
timer.
good.
Nah, you good, bro? How you feeling, champ?
I still struggle with it.
I feel good. At the same time, I almost don't know how to feel. You know what I mean? But I feel really good.
That's a normal feeling.
Hell yeah.
Probably feel how y'all felt when y'all got y'all's first win.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, like you
Still
said,
gives me chills you just saying that because it always it was the same thing with the pro card. You're watching everybody else go pro and you're like, when's my moment gonna happen? You're excited for them, but you're kind of like, oh, I wish it was me. And then it finally happens to you. And it's the same thing when you do it at the pro
Absolutely.
level. Yeah.
yeah,
And the way it did happen is another thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
You had a crazy season, bro, and
And the guys you beat, it's not some small slouch show. Like you beat a lot of Hall of Famers, bro. Like in the sport,
That's
it's
Yeah, and that's what I mean when that's what I meant when I said the way it happened.
yeah.
yeah.
It's definitely one to remember too. And who knows, man? Andre, he might be hanging the shorts up sooner rather than later, and you had an opportunity to stand on stage with him. Stand next to him, get compared with him. That's one of those memories you'll always be able.
Not only that, but an Andre that was actually on as well.
This was a good Andre.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
The
he
best
was a
I've
good
seen him in a couple of years.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, a good Andre for sure.
So, okay, so before we get there, we are currently breaking down the full lineup. We got through the first, I guess, top 3 to 6. I want to talk a little bit more about Mr. Reps because he's somebody who really impressed me when I saw him up on that stage. Right, I don't know what it is. He stands what 6'1.5". His weight cap is like 232. He's a
Yeah,
big,
it's my height.
yeah, he's
Same
a
height.
He's a big dude.
His
dense.
waist is this big too.
Yeah, it's
No
He's a
way.
big dude, small waist.
I was really impressed with his physique. Chris, seeing him in person, how can you explain to the audience like the impact of his physique?
All right. So he is on the brink of being classic, but still fits all the men's physique criteria. He walks out on the stage and you're like, what kind of lab did this dude get made out of? That's really what it looks like. And you're so impressed, but whenever it comes to the men's physique criteria, he's almost going too far past it with his size.
He is a big dude.
Good
You know what I'm
breakdown.
saying? Yeah, he's tall with a lot of muscle.
This is the video I watched that's actually surprised me because I see him in person at Chicago Pro, and he's still a big dude, but he's gotten so much better over the year that seeing this video here from the crowd just off of an iPhone picture, not even being there in person, just the density that he has, the fullness, and like Chris says, pound for pound, like classic wise from his height, absolutely, but he still fits the men's physique shape criteria, wide clavicles, good round muscle belly insertions. Everything is where it needs to be. The posing is great. He hits his angles and he's getting better each and every show that he does. So definitely liked his look a lot.
So my question
So go ahead.
Aaron, we're somebody who is quote unquote already, teetering to another division in terms of size, right? A guy who, without a doubt, controls his variables in terms of conditioning and seemingly fullness. I think he can be a little fuller, but nonetheless, where do you go
Well,
from?
first of all, I wanna say this before, because this is Chris's comment of he looks almost like classic. If he's making that weight cap,
He's not classic.
he's not classic. Bro, I weighed in 231. That my cap is 232.
Yeah.
So
There's a lot
I
of guys
mean,
that could be put in that category
yeah. But the thing is, it's like
as appearing classic. That could hit a front
he
double bicep.
but the thing is, you got to understand
He's
when
way better
bigger
in men's
guys
physique
get
than he
on,
would be
when
in
you
classic.
see
I agree.
bigger guys get on stage, like myself, Mr. Reps, or Raymond, bro, we're always going to wow a crowd because of how big we are. The
Yeah.
In
height is
comparison to the other
the
guys.
height with the muscle is
Hey,
different.
hold on. That dude came out and hit a most muscular that would have
Me
literally
too.
challenged the top 5 in men's physique. Get out of here, bro.
Aaron
If you
did do
see
that
that
too.
shit, no, go back to that. Go back to that pose and watch him do a most muscular and tell me that that won't beat some of the top guys in classic.
I
Bro,
wouldn't say some of the top guys in there, but
Minus the
No.
legs, but
I get what you're saying because when he walked out and he hit that
hey,
post,
watch this. No, watch it.
I told him I was like, "Yo, he should not hit this post. It looks too
Bro.
freaky." Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just round everywhere. You just see fullness, shoulders, chest, arms, everything's just bubbly.
yeah, he's
You
a
know.
big dude,
Now
man.
he has classic
The big dude,
appearance in certain
but
poses, certain angles.
you
Yeah.
know, he's just one of those guys that I've been competing with since the Houston Tournament of Champions. Like he's been at it. So I mean, I don't know if he ever took time off or anything like that, but his time
I think he
his
did
time
for
is
a couple
coming.
of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His time is coming.
So,
I
Aaron,
agree with
now my
that.
next question: what does he need to do, or is it one of those situations where you?
That's what I was going to ask you or Chris, because at the end of the day, it's like if everybody's wowed by this physique, what's separating him from Dustin and Andre?
Yeah,
Hey, if I'm going to be honest, whenever he walked out and he was in the lineups, I was arguing with Caitlin next to me. I would not argue if they made him the winner. Like it was that impressive. He controlled all his variables, as Alex would say. He was conditioned, round, everything was perfect. I just think that it was the
I
lineup
disagree.
that he was in was hurting him because the most of the guys were a little bit smaller and streamlined. So I
let's.
think that. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say no. Let's give some context too, because he was being compared to Dustin almost the majority of the time
Yes.
until they switched Andre and them. So he was being considered for the win. The judges saw something, but they also then saw enough to move him out too.
Yeah.
So
I would say Andre is a better argument, him beating Andre, not him beating Dustin. Dustin to me was a clear cut winner.
Oh,
I can
yeah,
tell you
I
why
thought
once
so
we get
too.
there.
no, in person. Listen, I had a conversation with Andre Ferguson right after prejudging, and he asked me straight up, "Who do you think is winning this show? Based off of what where everything is right now." And I said, "Listen, I think Dustin is to me right now the winner. Just straight up. To me, it was clear, but it was clear for a reason because Dustin, again, when we talk about men's physique having a look, that's what was clear. If you had to pick somebody
Very.
in that first call out and say who's men's physique, you go right towards Dustin, right?
Yes.
Dustin doesn't have the freakiest physique.
Less gaps.
He's not the most conditioned in the lineup. He's not the biggest dude in the lineup. He is the
All
most
around is best.
men's physique look in that lineup, right? And not to mention his back is one of the stronger backs in the lineup as well. So taking all of that into account, that's when I was saying it's a clear winner, right? And not to mention, Dustin, I wanted to give you credit for this. This is the fullest I've seen your chest too. This is the
Yeah,
seen
absolutely.
your chest. So again, giving some love to Mr. Reps before we move on. Great physique, a guy who, again, like we talk about, controls his variables.
Best I ever seen him.
I agree.
What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. Go back to the back shot.
So the back shot, I don't know how to explain this. So this looks a little like this is where I said he could have been fuller because
It's hard to say sometimes with the MPC pictures because usually when they first come out, it can be different. Sometimes you're not fully in a pose and Michael upload a photo or whatever because his back did look better in other photos that I have seen.
Yeah.
So maybe he wasn't leaning back or fully into it because I know he has a really dominant back. Plus the scale is off because as big as he is, it looks like
Yes.
Look,
Andre looks bigger because he's blown up. You get what I'm saying? So
exactly. So that's a good point too.
Hey, I'm just going to put a little highlight here. So my comment there right on the side, these pictures do not do the guys justice of what it looked like in person. And I want to basically state that here, that whenever you're looking at these pictures here, for one, the scale is totally off on how tall or how big these guys are, and two, the conditioning does not match up in these pictures. So never judge these pictures, man. You got to be there to see this stuff. And I know there was going to be a lot of people on the comments saying something about Dustin versus Andre because Andre's got a name and all that, but Dustin earned that win, and he looked very, very impressive in person, way more impressive than these pictures. So I'm just going to state that now.
And also going back to Deke Walker, and I just want to say this, just because I said it wasn't his best condition, we all agreed, doesn't mean he wasn't conditioned. The dude is still very conditioned, just not in this lineup.
Look at his back. I've seen him backstage. He's conditioned. It's just, I'm comparing his conditioning to.
It's under the lights, bro. It's so intricate. It could be 1 or 2% off of something and make your physique completely look washed out under the lights. But then you see him in person, it's like, wait, he was not conditioned?
Exactly.
You know?
No, Deke was definitely conditioned.
He was peeled. Like, it's just, I just think he was washed out in certain areas, like that was uncharacteristic to his previous looks.
Exactly.
Okay, Andre Ferguson. Without a doubt, over the last 2 years, this is the best look that he's brought to the stage. I think he had more pop. I thought his midsection was, closer to, what we used to compare him to. And not only him placing second here, he also won the 40 plus, 35 plus, or whatever it was. So
both of them. Yep.
Yeah, so the dude is absolutely, again, I think right now he's putting a lot of emphasis towards masters. And I spoke with him after the show on why he's doing that. But this is without a doubt the best Andre. Drew, what'd you see?
So the biggest thing that I'm going to say from the different standpoint between Dustin and Andre is Dustin has taper from front to back, complete, front to back, conditioning, complete, density, detail, fullness, complete. Andre doesn't have a good taper from the front as compared to the back. Kind of the same reason why my back has always held me back. My front, complete. My back, incomplete. Dustin won off of just being complete front to back and also maintaining his condition as he was posing. Andre fidgets around a lot. I think Andre did have the best back in the show, but Dustin had a good enough back to overpower him and then also had a superior front. So like you guys already touched on, we've all seen Andre, who's my favorite competitor in all of men's physique, always has been. This isn't prime Andre, obviously, but it is one of the best Andres that we have seen in years, I would say, since Atlantic Coast in 2022.
Yeah.
When he beat Sharif. I think that is when he started to digress slowly from his peak. He still looks great. He looks phenomenal. The people in the comment section that will probably take offense to this, he looked great. He got second. I think Mr. Reps was on his tail for the show, from my opinion. But I do think that, the look when Tyler talks about the arms being too big and the taper and the fullness, he doesn't have the fullest chest. He has a good core, very symmetrical, but it's a little bit bigger. The way that he hits a Superman, one of the very few guys that can hit the Superman and pull it off. It's not like it used to be. And he's still being compared to the Andre that we all know, just like Deke is being compared to the Deke we all know at Miami, just like everybody else is going to be compared not only to the competition in front of them, but compared to their previous best.
Hey,
so I think it was a great look.
Another thing, I talked to Andre about this as well. Whenever he went, I think it was 40 plus first, and then he went to 35 plus. As he was going through those Masters call outs, he was getting tighter and tighter as he was going. Yeah. So by the time he got to the open round, he was pretty much as crisp as he could be. And I mentioned that to Andre. I was like, bro, as you were going through these call outs, like from the older guys to you, I go, you were getting tighter and tighter. And he's like, oh, that's how I get. So he was maxed out.
That was the strategy that he did. Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Now, if Masters was after, you get what I'm saying? It's not, but if it was, think about how he would be in the open. It could have been fifth or sixth. Exactly. Could have, would have, should have. But you see, he's doing this for a reason. I know Andre's been a guy who always kind of talked about in the past that he wouldn't pump up. I don't know if he still does that, but just the inflammation, he would lose his detail. I watched on other interviews that he used to have with Iron Generation Iron or whatever it is. So I don't know if he still does that, but he's another guy that he would just like kind of pump up just off of posing.
Yeah. Aaron, what'd you see here?
To be honest, I didn't watch it, but congratulations on the Masters win.
Alex, you got to learn to just stop asking questions you're not going to get an answer for.
I know. I'm still learning the hosting thing.
We're already on your ass. You already know.
So, Dustin, how do you feel standing next to Andre? And did you have any doubt going into prejudging or after prejudging that you could have potentially placed another second place?
About standing next to Andre, I felt really good sitting next to him. Since I got into competing, like my very first show when I first started following the sport, following athletes. Andre was one of the first ones. Of course, so I was always a fan of Andre, and I wanted to do this show because I knew he was doing this show. I knew that my first show was going to be World Classics Chattanooga. I knew the show was just a week later. Why not hop in? Um, After standing next to Emmanuel last year in Charlotte
Yeah.
and getting second place to him, and you know, a pretty good comparison to Emmanuel. I felt like I could stand with some pretty good guys in the league, and with the improvements I made since last year, I felt good about this year. Uh, World Classics getting second place, it didn't discourage me at all. Uh, that just makes me hungrier
So
to.
if you can, because I want to give people context, because you're to many a younger new guy coming up, right? But for us
Right.
who are in the sport, we talk about it, we cover it, whatever it might be, we know about you. Can you give us a brief overview of your resume, your shows that you've done over the last couple of years to kind of understand the build up to this show?
All right, so long story short, I got my pro card back in 2020 uh, at USA's. Me and Alex Rogers.
Oh
He
yeah.
won the class. He won the class. I got second place. I took a year off after that, and I was a new pro. I took a year. I was ready to, eat whatever I wanted, so I took a year off. Uh, Came back the next year, did my pro debut in Charlotte, got sixth place. And then I did another show that same year, St. Louis, got fifth place. So I was like, all right, I'm getting fifth, sixth, and fifth place my rookie year. And I improved the next year, went back to Charlotte, got second place to Emmanuel. So I knew I had something going on there. A couple weeks later, or a week later after Charlotte, I was supposed to do Tri City, but I didn't get my contract in on
I
time.
remember
So
that.
that
Like,
was yeah, and that was my fault. And
so
I
hold
felt
on,
like I
explain that because like that's when they just
I
implemented.
remember Ben was talking about that because that's when that
yeah
Travis got second, right?
Yeah,
yeah Travis
Yeah,
Travis
yeah, I
got
remember.
second, and I
I
uh,
remember.
if I'm not mistaken, Clarence got third or fourth behind me at Charlotte, and then the very next week he goes to Tri City, wins. I
yeah.
didn't get the
Yep.
contract in, so I
Oh,
felt like I could have went to that show and possibly won, but it ate me up that I didn't get my contract in. I was so mad at myself,
yeah.
and we
Oh,
had Wasatch Warrior the next weekend in Utah, and I made sure my contract got in for that one. Um,
would you?
got second place. Got second place at Wasatch to Jason, so this is another second place. But a second place to a really good dude. Jason's
Absolutely.
really bubbly, and so I was like, all right. We had St. Louis and the very next weekend. Coming off a second place, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Two second places. I was expecting to win St. Louis.
Mhm.
Um,
Is that George's win?
Yeah, I think I just didn't peak right or something. It wasn't. I didn't have the look at St. Louis, and GB won that show, and I got another second place at that show,
Yeah.
and so that's
Oh
three
man, how you
second.
let GB beat you, man?
Y'all, the thing is, I had beat GB 2 weeks before that in Charlotte at the Charlotte Pro.
That's
Yeah,
right.
and then he pulls up and beats me in St. Louis, so I got all kind of fire lit by now.
You let
And then
GB smoke you.
later on in that year, mind y'all, I started prep that year in January. I did my final two shows, which was the Sarasota Pro. I think I right there where I got the black and yellow shorts on,
I thought you
and
had it. It
then
was a close one.
I was gonna say your look was good for that one.
That was a good look.
and I don't think I didn't like that look. I wasn't tight. I had been prepping long. I felt like my body was fighting against me. I felt like I was just tired. I was doing 2 hours of cardio a day, no carbs.
Gosh.
I wasn't getting tight like I needed to. And where the question mark is, yeah, that's just always going to be a question mark because that'll never get filled in. That was the last show I did, the Sasquatch, and
That was right behind. Like, what'd you get there?
I got fifth place in that one.
Okay.
So I've never placed outside the top five. Uh, actually, I did one Pittsburgh Pro my rookie year. Ben talked me into doing the Pittsburgh Pro. Uh, and I got 11th in that show.
So
But
you're
Was that the year Corey won?
yeah, that's the year Corey won that show. And
okay.
I think
Ben did the
Ali and
show.
Ryan Terry
Yeah.
were in that show.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
And
big lineups, big lineups.
yeah, but back to my lead up to this win to last week to Chattanooga, second place to Benny, to competing the next day at Alabama to drop into fourth place.
Hey, hold on. I need to say something about that though. Remember, Aaron told me I was crazy for predicting Dustin to go first the week before, and he was going to get fourth at Body B. And then I was like, I think he's going to bounce back after that. I just want to make that point
Wait,
that
what did you say? What are you talking about?
you
You
don't
didn't
remember
say
that. So,
shit to me. No, you didn't.
hey,
No,
I'm gonna roll the tape back
No,
to
you
you next
didn't. You
month.
said that shit about him going
Hey,
to.
thanks, Aaron. You turn me up, bro. Turn
okay.
me
Hey, I
up.
always got to get my digs on at Aaron. All right, so
All right.
No, after I saw Dustin that world, I was like, okay, this nigga on. Even when I was talking to you backstage, I said,
I remember
nigga,
that.
you on to something, you know what I mean? And then just telling me how that you still not even at your weight cap. So why don't you tell the people that how far away you are from your weight cap? And when you do hit the weight cap, you're gonna be a serious problem, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and then after getting fourth place at Body B1, I still wasn't discouraged because I knew I had a whole nother week to diet and get better. So that whole week leading up to St. Pete Pro, I was basically eating into the show. I
Okay.
was 2 pounds. I weighed in 2 pounds lighter than I did at Chattanooga.
It's crazy.
I was able to just eat
You know,
carbs
it
into the
works, man.
show, so
It's
it was
crazy.
really easy. Brought cardio down. Uh, kept it where it was, but I brought the intensity down
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it helped bring inflammation down. And I think it helped me bring a tighter look and really showcase what I got a little bit better than I have in the past.
Let your story to sum it up in a very simple sentence, your story is one of resilience. You have gotten probably some of the most second place finishes.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
I Earlier this year, I didn't even know if I wanted to compete this year. After my two placings last year, those last two shows I was talking about, how I thought those were my worst looks. It kind of that those looks did discourage me a little bit, and I was just unmotivated. And then I had a talk with Ben. He kind of lit a fire in me. By the end of the conversation, I was motivated. This is in January. Hopped in the prep. Here we are.
You know, we talk about Ben a lot on the podcast. He's like an honorary member, even though he doesn't hop on here. But I'm curious to know, in your eyes, how, and I say this because you have to know Ben as a coach, right? Not many people, there's some who will work with him and some that just simply won't personality wise. But for the ones that
Absolutely.
do work with him, it really works with them, right? So I'm curious to know if you can explain like Ben's coaching and how it's helped you get to this point through all of the ebbs and flows that you've been through throughout your career with a guy who's also been through some ebbs and flows and also a guy who's currently rising through the ranks. How has that helped you?
I'll say Ben's a great coach first and foremost. He's definitely not for everybody.
Okay.
Uh, he's a hard coach. He's gonna coach you hard. If he sees potential in you, he's gonna pull it out of you one way or another.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's the ways you like it or not, he's gonna get it out of you. And some people can take that, some people can't. Some people will run from it. But I need somebody like Ben to not be a yes man to me and tell me I look good all the time and stay on me about posing conditioning, hitting rounds because that shows when it gets close like that. That's what it comes down to. And Ben he really hits on those small details like that. And
Absolutely.
yeah, he's a good coach.
Mike,
I was gonna double up on that as well. Just personally from meeting Ben in person the first time, probably a year and a half ago, whatever that may be, he really does pull the best out of people, even if you're
Like,
not competing,
like
you're
another
competing.
thing, like Ben, he sees things in you that you don't even see in yourself. Like
Yes.
he sees it and you don't even know you got it, but he knows you got it, and he's gonna stay on you until you actually see that you got it as well.
Yeah, and I
And
compare it to like
that's why
ambassador role, like Aaron.
that's what I like
Aaron
about
does
Ben.
Sorry, Aaron, like Aaron's backstage always helping people with posing. He'll be in the crowd helping people out and everything. And Ben has some of those same attributes where after the St. Pete show, he went up to my girl and he was like, hey, hit a couple poses right now. And took her out of her comfort zone in front of all these people and she's doing posing. And he's like, oh no, you need a better walk. And Ben's there walking like a bikini competitor in front of all these people and said, this is how you should walk. And that is so great for the sport because there's not a lot of people that are going to pull random people to the side and be like, hey, hit your poses right now. So whenever Dustin's talking about he brings the best out of people, he truly loves the sport and what he does. And he lives for this. So that's the number one thing I love about Ben is no matter what, you're always going to get that same energy from him.
I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, you
So
know,
Alex, real quick, I don't want to interrupt. I want to give my closing real quick before I hop off here. The first thing that I wanted to say, congrats to Dustin, congrats to Ben. Ben is a great coach. As much as people think that, he's one way or another because he does speak his opinion and it does collide with a lot of people. I take it for granted salt, and I'm always trying to learn from people. So there's a lot that I've learned from Ben throughout my career. I've competed with him many, many times. I still remember beating him at one of the Wausau shows. So I always hold that above him a little bit. But you know what? I got to get my payback at the O here soon. But anyways, Dustin is a competitor that has always been runner up to guys that are top Olympians. He's runner up to guys that may have a superior X. So that could be either be conditioning structure or front. Dustin's front isn't necessarily his bread and butter, but it is improving. His back is as complete as you could possibly have it. It's very similar to Ben's with the lower lats, with the thickness, with the detail, with the conditioning. His chest is coming up. He has a crazy taper. I think that he has everything that
can
he
I interrupt you
needs,
for a
and it's
second,
showing
Drew?
that. What's up?
If you go to the back picture, Alex,
Yeah.
prejudging, my tan was very, very, very light. I don't
Yes.
know if that
I
got
did
any pictures
notice
of
that. I thought it
finals.
was a glaze thing. I did
So
notice that.
it kind of looks like I'm washed out, or that it's not a lot of detail showing in these pictures. But
I
we
saw
we
him.
cleaned
But
it
here
up.
for the viewers, let me explain something. Let's just black out all these physiques right now. Look at the lats that you have versus everybody else. They don't have the lats that insert as low and as dense as you have it.
Yep.
Now add in the detail. Andre pushes you a little bit. He is older. He does have more
Absolutely got that.
separation and density.
Yeah.
But look at everybody else. It's between you and him. And you win not only from the back shape, but you win from the front. And that's why I had you as a perfect score winner.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
I couldn't agree more.
That's how I look at it.
Drew, I know you got to hop off. I wanted to know your thoughts real quick. If you want to take us to the car or whatever, we got to talk about it.
No, we don't. We don't. I'm gonna log the fuck off.
No, you got to.
Oh my God, bro.
I'm afraid I'm going to lose connection.
There it is. It's gone.
But I could do it real quick. You want to pull it up?
No,
You guys battle it.
That was perfect timing.
You really lost connection as you said that.
That's good.
I also want to read through some of the comments too, because this feels like politics. This literally feels like it's a
50-50, bro.
It's truly a split of 50-50.
I don't get it though. It makes no
ain't.
sense.
It ain't 50-50. Just wait till somebody make their video.
Hey, what Aaron said.
There's preference, and then there's what criteria is. That's it. You know what I'm saying? There's right and wrong. It's like that with politics. It's like it with sports. It's like it. It's like it with anything. There's always going to be entertainment in something.
Bro,
I
first
can
of all,
drive past the car on the side of the road with a broken down
shit.
tire. I think it's funny. It's entertainment. It doesn't make it right.
I get it, and and like I said, he brings great energy. And then I'm starting talking to these people, and slight where he can't do that. Motherfucker, if you read the goddamn criteria, it says bodybuilding posing. It does not say dancing. Men's physique can hit a fucking ab and thigh shot, then a actual back double bicep. Come on, bro. I have nothing against this dude, but bro, it don't make our division look good. They already call us pussies. This is just more fuel to the fucking fire,
I don't
bro.
want to do the young kid that's 16, that's 140 pounds. I don't want to do men's physique. That shit's gay.
I hope people don't. I hope people don't follow this.
No, and that's the thing. I think when you look at this realistically, like, do you know anybody, like anybody who you would consider a friend, right? Do you know anybody that would have the audacity to have this like posing routine? Like, the reality is none of us do. But
I saw some comments, Alex, before I get off here. I saw some comments that people like, well, I love it. They should include this. Could you imagine if they did and they had to make you do it?
no,
Like, listen, Bench, you have to do an individual that's going to be like, they're going to grade you on how entertaining you are. Like, you're going to have a guy start twerking or something on stage next. It's like, you have to follow that up by coming out on stage. Like, it makes it weird. Now, at the beginning of men's physique, yes, it changed a lot because they're establishing what the division is. Same thing with fit model, same thing with bodybuilding, the evolution, the sizes, they have changed. But what has stayed the same in men's physique for the most part is the quarter turns or the front to the back and then front. There's always been a guy that hits a front double or whatever, but that still is bodybuilding. You know, people can disagree with it. It still is bodybuilding. Now, when you get into a guest posing or something like that, okay. But when it's men's physique, just like Aaron said, it does make the division look, you know, a little, what's the word for it? Flamboyant.
Can I give you a reasoning on why I think this happened?
It's just extra. It's very, very extra.
Too extra.
Too much, bro. It don't make our division look good. And bro, I've been trying my hardest to kind of,
I think if you're doing stuff like this on stage, then competing is like a small hobby to you, and you're like literally just trying to have fun, and you're
not professional. Exactly.
You're not that serious about it.
And that's the thing. I actually agree with exactly what you said.
I get him wanting to have fun, but at the same time, you can't be that serious about it.
I couldn't agree more. I don't think
it ain't about having fun, bro. You sign a professional contract.
Yeah, I'm just.
And then you got his little photographer messaging me back and forth in these comments talking about, like, bro, go to my comment.
I think it was on the.
No, actually, yeah, go to my comment.
I got you.
Hey, Alex,
hey guys,
what did they have different at this show compared to others?
I talked to this guy backstage.
All right, Drew, hold on.
Kind of like,
happy birthday.
Got his vibe. He's
appreciate it, guys.
Congrats
again, Dustin.
Appreciate it, Drew.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead.
There was a catalyst to why this happened, and I can't believe you guys haven't mentioned it.
Why? Why did it happen?
All right, go to where is the Best Poser Award? Did you realize that there was a Best Poser Award for men's physique, and it was a bigger prize than the first place winner prize?
Yeah, it was $3,000.
That has nothing to do with dancing.
Well, I will say this.
I think it was $3,000 in Gilco content, right?
Hold on. But on top of this, what did they have on every seat, Alex, at that show? Did you see what was there?
Yeah, they have the scanners.
They have a QR code that the fans were allowed to vote who the best poser was.
Yeah.
So this
guess what?
It was used as a show kind of boat thing. I think that's why he did it.
Yeah, listen, I think people can look at this as a payment side of things, and then there's a true bodybuilder. Like, the reality is, I can see both perspectives. I can see, cool, it was entertaining. No one's going to sit here and act like it wasn't. If you saw the crowd, how engaged they were, and even the judges had a smile on their face, you can respect it from that perspective. But like Aaron said, this is a professional league, and the parameters around it. We've already had Sandy on the podcast when she specifically said front shot, back shot, front shot off the stage, right? We've heard Tyler and Steve Weinberger say
everybody says it.
The reason why Brandon Hendrickson was hurt when in the 2022 Olympia, when he was doing all this stuff with his arms, they called that too much, right? So I get it from the perspective of the IFBB as well. Obviously, if you are a more hardcore competitor, if your identity is more as a competitor, then you're going to view it the same way Aaron views it. He is more of I don't want to say an entertainer, because for those of you who don't know who he is, he's a very popular fitness, I don't want to say a trainer. He's a very popular fitness trainer. I think he sees it more as like the entertainment side, and it's something of an extension of what he does.
Put that shit to a DVD.
I agree with Aaron on that. I think that I know he was docked points with talking to a couple people that were there, high up people that were there. But I My personal opinion is I think someone should be disqualified for this.
Wait, you think that he was docked points? That's what they said?
It was dog points. I talked to somebody.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So and that's the thing.
That person was a big part of that show. Let's just put it that way.
So I think that's what the IFBB's rights are, right? Like, so he decided to, like, I always say, do this at your own risk, right? Like, if you're going to do it, it's going to be at your own risk. If you get knocked down because of it, then you have
to. You can't be mad about it.
You can't be mad about it, right? Like, you have to. There's I don't want to say there's a right, because it's not a right way, but there's a traditional way of doing things, right? Like, for personally, we saw Ryan Terry hit back double biceps, right? We've seen it, and they also said that you shouldn't be doing that.
But you got to understand how we do our back double bicep. We're not setting it up like that, but we're hitting it in a transition and then coming back to the front. That's not hitting. That's totally different from him. Watch, he's going to turn straight to the back and set up a double back bicep.
And the thing is everything suits a certain physique. Like, whenever Aaron does it, it looks good in a transition. It's not looking like he's trying to be a bodybuilder or classic physique. It's literally a one and done, like 1 second thing. Or whenever someone does the ab and thigh shot, or like what Ali does where he shows his obliques, that suits his physique. Everyone has something that they do that suits their physique, but they're not bodybuilding posing, and it's not dancing, right? This is totally different from all that stuff.
Yeah. I will say this, man. If you know Shaun T,
it's not about knowing him. Quit that teeter-totter shit, bro.
Hey, Aaron, he likes that. He's a manifest. He loves the publicity he's getting from manifester now. He's eating it up.
Chris, shut your mouth. And also, Aaron, it's a difference, bro. Just because I can sit here and see two different perspectives and have the maturity to say, listen, I get it from this perspective, but I also don't agree with it, even though I can see where they're coming from. It's a big difference. You have to take.
No, I said I love the energy.
Okay, but
100% love the energy, but that is not acceptable. Any way you try to spin it, it's not.
It's not. Right.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm on the understanding of, if you decide to do something like this, you're going to get penalized, or you should get penalized. This is something that I would never do. Chris, you would never do it, right? None of us would put ourselves in this position, but at the same time, you can also look at it from a different perspective and see the entertainment side of things. That's it. Because if you were there in person, you would see how everybody was entertained. It was.
Don't care for more entertainment to what? Make Men's Physique look bad again?
Go read the comments. I talked to this guy backstage, and I asked him if he had ever done this before. He said no, but he did say he used to compete in classic, so he's used to doing like routines and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I think all the QR code, the best poser award. I think that all that probably has something to do with that.
Yeah,
I really do.
He had never done that before
because they put it on the live stream as well, and he knew it was going to be on live stream, so it was definitely for the best poser money situation. He doesn't need the money, but I really do think it was because of that.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. He even posted about it and talked a little bit more about like trying to win that best posing award.
Okay, I had no idea that he did that. So,
yeah. But again, like, I know it's, if you know Shaun T, like, but outside of bodybuilding, I'm not saying it's just.
When I talked to him, he seemed like a really happy dude.
Always
he
happy, bro.
He is. He's got really high energy always.
He's always been one of those guys. Like, he's flamboyant. He's unapologetic. He does not give a fuck. Like, the conversations like this, bro, he does not give a single fuck. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't care that people are, that's just always been his personality. And I think if you've known him from that, you'll.
But that, and 100%, as he should. Yeah. He should not give a fuck. No. He makes the money he makes. He is who he is from what he's done in his career. But when you come to this industry, when we talk about professionalism and the criteria, it's totally different.
You know what I also think sucks too? I think people aren't talking about how actually good he looked.
He looked amazing.
Because everyone is talking about that.
Dude, he was on.
He looked absolutely incredible. Yeah. And how old is he? Is he like 47?
Yeah.
He's 47 years old. Something like this. You know, it's crazy. It's only a matter of time for him too. I think he got here it is. Third place. Yeah, and
right behind Dustin the Holly and Andre.
Yeah,
and those both already qualified for the Masters Olympia, so they're already top of the Masters.
Aaron, what do you say to people who use Kai Green as a reference when he did the Arnold Classic?
I mean, I love it, but you gotta understand. You gotta do what you gotta do for your division. And if you're competing in whatever division that you're doing, you just gotta follow the rules. I like I said, I don't, and I don't want to make this to the point where, oh, I don't like this dude or I'm hating,
Yeah,
bro.
no,
I'm just upholding the standard, bro. I do this shit at the highest level. You
Mhm.
see what I'm saying? So if I'm trying to move the men's physique division to another level, bro, I'm going to speak up about this.
so
I'm
you
not
said
gonna sit here and you know what I mean, and
The same
and
thing
make
with the
it
shorts. Whenever we spoke up about that, it's not
right.
part of the criteria, so we're going to defend it. You know.
Right. So it's I don't want people to take this out of context where I'm hating. No, it's bro, this is what I do professionally,
Mhm.
100% of my life. Shaun T got videos and he make other money elsewhere. This is my career. This is what I do. This is my division. So I'm going to have that say so and that work that mouthpiece. Everybody else may not feel like it because they may think it may come off a way, but no, bro, I'm gonna speak up and I'm gonna talk professionally about it. And
Mhm.
this is what's not acceptable. And like I said, talking to the head of what we do, it won't happen again.
Yeah, I'm
so
on your side,
do you think Tyler and them are going to come out with a video?
Absolutely.
and they should. They should.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, then I'm sure you guys have seen this video.
The other one.
Oh my God,
Exactly.
that other
You
one.
got 2 in 1 weekend. This is perfect time for him to make a video on it.
That's a
Like,
that's a good
this
point.
dude didn't even hit one pose, bro.
So
Not
Not one.
one pose.
so I was
Like,
I
he
saw this and
froze
I was
No, I
like,
something,
haven't
I
man.
seen
gotta
this
be
yet.
dreaming or something. Like
oh Dustin, you never
this
saw it?
can't even be
I haven't
serious right
seen this yet. No.
Okay, so this was
now.
right after the Shaun T video kind of went viral. People then this video went viral. It was like the same weekend, the day after. This guy on the Flex Pro stage went insane. So
Shit is stupid.
people were arguing that it's stupid because it was for men's physique. But I think now you're actually seeing it in another perspective for bodybuilding because Kai Green did a lot of flamboyant, dramatic.
No. Let me take that back. Don't fucking disrespect Kai Green. Kai Green was the art of posing. That is
No,
bullshit.
this is some other
All right,
stuff
that's
right
fair.
here.
Yeah, that's totally
Oh,
different.
don't disrespect that.
Okay,
No, that's a total disrespect.
so let me ask you though, if somebody had a Kai Green-esque feel but in men's physique, would you still say it's too much?
No, if they're hitting their poses, not
So
hitting having
this
thigh
is this guy's
and back
routine
double
right here.
buys,
Say it again, Dustin.
This is his routine.
This is
that's his routine, bro. That's his routine.
Dustin's like, what the fuck is going on?
Did he make any call out?
Probably
That's a
not.
good point. I have no idea. You know what's
Like
funny?
he didn't show. You're not showing nothing. You're not showing the judges nothing right here.
Bro, I thought this was a guest posing at first until I saw the number. That's what thrown that
'Cause,
threw.
okay, so when you talk about bringing Kai Green is posing to men's physique, who are the best posers in men's physique right now? The top three, top five, whatever you think.
Ben, you and I personally like Chiron.
So do you think we'll do any of that bullshit?
I think
No.
that's what I'm saying. Chiron, I'm not saying he's like that. He's definitely not. He would never do shit like this. He's the only one I know who takes it and puts personality and entertainment just as much as, I'm not gonna say just as much, but very close to
We're
everything.
talking about this.
He does a lot more. I'm telling you.
This.
But
I
that's
mean,
This is what you're
Joe
talking about?
does that stuff too,
Listen.
though.
let me be very clear when I say this. I would never want the division to trend in that way. But do you guys want to see more flexibility in men's physique?
No,
So you guys can
absolutely not. Absolutely
Uh,
not. I want to see actually less.
Do you?
I want to see the regular
If
criteria.
if
It's a front and a
I'll,
back. That's it.
I'll say this, if I want to see when it comes to flexibility in men's physique posing, like the transitions where Aaron hits like his back double by for a split second because it flows with the way he's transitioning.
Yeah.
I think stuff like that should be just fine.
So there was a time not that long ago where stuff like that was like knocked down on. Like there was people hitting back double buys like Ryan Terry did, and where they were getting knocked down on. So I do see them being a little bit more flexible than what I've seen, at least in the past.
But I'm gonna tell you this. I think this year's Mr. Olympia, the criteria is gonna be very strict. Just wait. Just
All right,
wait.
fair.
But
Fair.
Just wait.
I think we need to keep it front and back though.
But Ryan wasn't shaking his BBL on stage, so come on.
He wasn't either.
Listen, there's an evolution to everything, right? There was an evolution of men's physique.
There's no that is not an evolution,
Hold on,
Alex.
we're not. Hold on, we're off that topic now. We're talking about just generally, not the Shaun T posing routine. As much as an entertainment it was to watch it and see other people's reaction to it, I
Yeah.
get it from the flip side. Whereas if more people did this, I think we would be looked at more in a negative light than a positive light, obviously, right? But again, you can see the entertainment side. The fans seemingly enjoyed it. But what I'm saying is,
So how about this? I'm gonna help Shaun T out. For Shaun T, this is what I want you to do. I want you to contact all the promoters in Texas and all the promoters in Florida and all the promoters in California. Let's get this guy special guest posing so he can do that.
I agree.
That is fine. To go guest pose and bring your light there, do that. But as far as
do that too. Yep.
Besides competing in the open men's physique and doing that, no. You can do it in guest posing. Do it 100%. Bernadette, Sandy, Tamer, reach out to him so he can do that there.
If I had a bodybuilding show,
Don't do that on no stage.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I gotta hop off here in a short second.
You're good.
But, I do want to say thank y'all for having me on here.
A pleasure, Brody.
I'm looking forward to competing in my first Olympia, and just
soak it all in, brother. The main thing is when you get there, it's going to be an experience. The thing is I know you going in to make a statement, but soak all of it in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll just look forward to enjoying my first Olympia, the overall experience, and being around all the great guys.
Absolutely. Listen, your story, like I said, is one of resilience. It's one I wanted to have you on because of how much I've been involved seemingly from a distance, watching you do what you did. And I'm happy all your hard work finally paid off, man. Again, you're an Olympian.
I appreciate it.
It's just the beginning for you, brother.
Man,
appreciate it.
All right, man. We'll catch up with you again. You need anything from us, you let us know, man.
Thanks, guys. Y'all keep doing this.
All right, brother.
All right, man.
All right.
Yo, before we get out of here, Aaron, when it comes to, like we talked about, the evolution of the posing side, do you think this is where it caps off? Do you think men's physique, is there any flexibility? Is there anything new, just like we saw with the physiques, just like we saw with the posing, what it used to be compared to now? Is there anything new?
No, because when you think about evolution of posing, the posing was what?
They had some sides
always
up in there too. I actually think they went down.
So the thing is, they had it wasn't a side shot. It was just to be honest, it was the transition everybody does.
Yeah.
They just turned it into a transition. That used to be a mandatory pose, but now it's front and back. And then we just go into that transition. So the thing is okay, that may be the evolution, but everything else, bro, men's physique is, again, a beach body, bro, front and back. That's it. Yeah. I don't think there should be nothing else added.
What about you, Chris?
I think that the more you add into it, people are going to do exactly what they're doing with open bodybuilding, where they're saying the whole motorcycle pose needs to go away. I think that the more stuff you add in, everyone's going to like the old school days, and you're going to go right back to where we began, and it's going to be the front, back, front, and be done. So I think that the simpler we keep it, obviously it's going to keep the standard the same, and we're going to be able to see the weaknesses in the physique rather than doing a bunch of poses to express that person's physique. It's going to be more to the standard, and the standard is front, back, front, and get off the stage.
Yeah,
and bro, that's why I was arguing with people about them saying, "Oh, where does it say that he can't do that?" Or where does it say that it has to be a front and back? Like, what?
Yeah, do we want to turn to the NFL?
Make sure you cite it. Make sure you cite it when you talking. I don't need to cite shit. Go open your eyes. What are you talking about?
Chris, you were there in person. You saw it with your own eyes, if I'm not mistaken. Did you?
Bro, and I don't give a shit, dude. I had secondhand embarrassment, and I had to walk to the side. And you saw me come up to you, and I go, "Bro, did you just see that shit?"
Yeah, I did. I saw.
And you were over to the side, and you're like, "What just happened?" I go, "Shaun T just did some TikTok dances on these motherfuckers." Like, I literally had to walk away.
Crowd reaction. I saw the crowd's reaction, but I didn't see the actual like event take place. And I'm sitting here like, what's going on right now? I had the perfect view to see the judges and the crowd, but not the actual event.
Yeah.
But I get it, dude. Like, listen, as the bodybuilding side of me, like the hardcore, the ones who is rooted, bro, I would never find myself doing that. I just think because this is where the biasness comes in. I like Shaun T, right? I love his personality. Always have been a fan of.
Bro, I like him too.
I know.
But that's the thing. Like, you can't say that. Like, oh, because I like him. No, I like him too as a person. The energy he's bringing, what he's done for fucking decades to transform so many different fucking bodies, bro. Like, I understand that 1000%. But we're in a fucking professional league.
So if he did that in the
And
amateurs, would that be okay?
I don't give a damn what he did it, but not on that damn open stage.
All right.
No. He could have did that embarrassment in the NPC, and I wouldn't have cared because I would have just laughed at it because it's amateurish.
All right, fair enough. All right, before we get out of here, I wanted to talk about the Texas Pro, but the lineup didn't drop yet. But
no,
it didn't drop. Check again. But Chris's favorite competitor, from my understanding, he's a week out.
Hey, I'm signing off. I'll see you guys later.
You gotta be careful, bro.
I don't need any more death threats, dude. Jesus.
Yeah.
Hey, I had to verify my Instagram because they were trying to get it taken down. Damn it.
The Indian community will go,
hilarious,
bro. They're crazy. I love it.
No, he looks good.
What do you see? Is this 1 week out?
No, but I know what his coach is gonna do.
That's what I keep putting in the back of my mind. I was like,
I don't care how somebody look. Bro, I don't be looking like, what show was it? The Dubai, Pittsburgh, my first Pittsburgh. Like, I didn't look a week out until I started peak week. Like, that shit started to boom, boom, just hit the way it needed to hit. But he looks there.
He's very
and all he got to do is just finish doing what they got to do.
I definitely see some added size here too. That's like the one thing that I've been paying close attention to.
And that may be pushing him a little bit.
That's
probably. Say again.
What show is he doing? Texas?
Texas, yeah. I thought it's 8 o'clock.
Which one?
He's doing
because I'm in Texas right now. I should have dropped.
Republic of Texas.
It's 7 o'clock. The Republic of Texas, bro, is in 2 weeks.
No, it's not. July. Oh,
bro, it's in 2 weeks.
What am I doing?
Yeah, you're tripping, my guy.
You
said Texas Pro. Wait, what?
All right, hold on. Let me apologize. Then that means he's 2 weeks out. He's not one.
Yeah, he's 2 weeks out.
He's not 1 week out, and that definitely changes things too.
He's good. He's definitely
good. He's good.
But I'm like, wait, a week out? What show is a week out?
Yeah,
we
in Texas.
Trying to keep the details.
We was just at dinner talking about the Republic of Texas.
Oh, bro, we got no bodybuilding shows this weekend.
Are you coming to that?
The Republic? No, I told you I had something that weekend.
I know you should come to that, bro. It's gonna be crazy.
No, I can't, bro. And Chris, you can't.
What city is it in?
Aren't you going?
Texas, Austin.
What, you just say Texas whenever I ask what city?
Austin, my bad.
No.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him. Yeah, all right. So wait, on a recent video that I have dropping tomorrow, I put 3 dark horses for the Olympia. I'm curious to know who you guys currently, and this is off the current qualified list. The current list, we have 52 people. I can pull it up if you need to, but I'm curious to know if you guys had to pick 3 people on who can, I don't want to say jump the highest, but who are going to make a lot of people, is going to shock a lot of people. Who would you put in that?
So jump the highest or
I think
10 or
you just had to put dark horse in general.
Okay.
Like somebody who people would not expect.
Let me see the list.
Something. And keep in mind, okay, no, Miroslav is on here. I think the only person who isn't on here is Dustin. But
okay,
what we need to do is like come up with like just visuals of people so we can go down it. But we have Ricardo Croce, Alex Rogers, Felipe, not sure, Ben, Ryan Terry, Ali. I didn't know Yemi was.
Yeah, I was about to say I didn't know Yemi was either.
I didn't know Yemi was.
He was already qualified.
Yeah,
from early on.
He was already qualified from last year.
He did Dubai, bro. They didn't, bro. There was even people who did Dubai who was not even,
bro.
I couldn't
not even in first call outs.
No, I couldn't believe
I
it.
believe it.
Like multi-time Olympia is not even in the first, like being
Yeah, I don't know what was. I didn't know what happened. I was like, oh,
I want you guys to think. I kind of want to show you guys one more thing, but I'm curious to know who would you put in that like they're going to shock a lot of people category? Do you guys think Andre Dayu?
no.
I was thinking that, but I think he'll get exposed by some of these more streamlined types of
These
physique.
streamlined
Yeah.
bodies, bro, are crazy right now.
Yeah.
I'm
Who's the first name
I
that
do see Ruben Glass popping up out of nowhere.
that was
I
one
do
of
see
mine.
Ruben popping out of
I
like
was
just
going to say Ruben,
Yep,
Ben,
I have been to.
and I would say the last one, I do not have Miroslav because he's going to get exposed from the back, just like he did last year.
yeah.
You know what? It's going to sound crazy, but I have Tyler Smith.
Okay. We got two. You got two of my three,
Okay.
and then
I'm taking Ben, maybe.
said a lot of nice things about Ben in this podcast. You sure you don't want to call him out?
Who?
Ben, we said a lot of
He
nice
got
things.
called out last week. He had enough beating.
He got enough. I'm off. I'm gonna go Corey Morris, bro. I think Corey
Oh,
Morris.
that's not a dark horse.
That's it. Come on. Come on. Yeah.
He is a dark horse. What are y'all talking about? Y'all not know what
Well, that's
what he
true.
has
No,
to do
he's
to
right.
get to the point to where he has to get to?
I actually
Yeah.
don't.
Bro,
Does
come
he
on, man.
suffer? He has to suffer.
Bro, Corey's gonna make I
We
think
could
a
put
lot of noise
Diogo in
this
there
year.
too.
Diogo's not a dark
You
horse.
can.
But you can because he
Yeah,
doesn't
not
show up.
dark horse.
I just think
True.
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Are you guys
What about
think about Alex Rogers? That was my next one.
he qualified?
Yeah, he won Sasquatch last year. It was the first show. He was the first one to qualify outside of the guys who were already qualified.
He's got amazing potential, but this year I
He
don't
got
think so.
potential, but I don't think, bro. These it's hitters in this shit, right? This
Yeah.
it's hitters. I
Yeah.
think he's gonna be very overpowered. There's too many
I would say in 2 years, yes.
couple years for sure.
Okay. I don't know what it was, man. When I saw him in person at the Florida Pro, you were there with me, Chris. You could see that he stood out, man. He really stood out.
No, he has a
But
phenomenal look.
You got
But
to
we
put him
talking
against
about
the top guys. It's not going to be a good look.
Yeah, I just think he's balanced from front to back. I think he has fullness in the right areas. I think this was the best conditioning I've ever seen him, at least in the Florida Pro. I think once you get out of the first call outs, I think you can have, this sounds bad to say, you can have more holes in your physique. I think the first call out is usually is about a balance to me, like who has good fronts and back, or
I'll say one thing with him. If he can bring in more detailed and thicker abs, yes. Until then, I think he's being held back right now with too shallow of a core because we're seeing core being rewarded so well right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you know what's crazy though? Like his obliques are fucking razor.
They are. They are.
That's like the weird thing. Like his obliques are razor sharp. And I still think his abs are good. It's just like if you compare them to his obliques, they're very different.
Yeah, exactly.
Very different.
And that's what we're talking about. Total balance of a physique is going to be rewarded. You have to put everything together, and it's got to be very, very appealing to the eye. And every single hole on the Olympia stage will be exposed because these guys that are in the top 10 don't have very many. So we're splitting hairs at that point. And if we're talking about dark horses, we need someone that has a complete physique to go against those guys.
So because of after
MJ looks so good, bro. He looks so good, but his back is just lacking.
Yeah,
And
dude,
I thought he was gonna bring his back up from last year, but it's still not like there yet. His front shot is fucking sick.
insane.
Sick as fuck.
is his front shot top 8?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So think about how good his front shot is and how bad his back has to be that bad. Like it was to me, it actually looked better when he was going against Aaron.
Okay. Hey,
The
I got a
thing is,
controversial question. Controversial
it's not
question here.
bad, but he just don't have the density. It's not thick. It's just flat detail.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You guys hear me rave about Emmanuel time and time again. He has a better front shot than Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Who else? Who else is in? Who came in? You got Aaron. No.
What place did he get last year? Was he at the back?
Yeah, he was in. I think he was in 16.
Yeah. So I got a controversial question though. All right. Him or Drew, who wins? We're talking about guys with good fronts and bad backs, right?
It's like a good comparison, But I think,
It's a really good comparison, but I'm gonna give it to Drew because
yeah,
Drew's more mainstream men's physique.
that's exactly the reason I would give, because like it's like one of those situations where like, yeah, you can look at his chest and say it's better than Drew's. You can look at it like, but it's just a look. Like that's
I
where
think
you
it'd be cool to see them next to each other. I
Structure.
would love to
It's the
see that.
structure.
it's just, yeah,
Drew's structure is better.
yeah,
It is.
that's what it is. Like
That V taper is so much bigger on Drew.
Yeah.
Like I said, whenever we saw him in that lineup, he was a lot bigger than guys this time. So I think that'll be
My
really
guy hit a vacuum.
bro, can we talk about that for a second? I've never seen
My
that
guy
big
hit.
stage. What is going on
My
in
guy
this
hit a.
lately?
I don't know what the hell is going on. We need to get this shit figured out, though. I tell you that. Because we're going to get to the O and you're going to see niggas doing so much dumb shit.
Bro, I kind of liked it. I don't know what it is. Like this, okay, would you say this is too much as well? That's a good one.
Croce does that too.
No, he doesn't.
Croce
Oh, he
does that.
did.
Yes, he
Are you
does.
serious?
Yeah.
He does that a lot.
Yeah, because he does
Croce-
this like vacuum ab thing. I swear. We talked about it.
Wait.
That's why he makes his waist try to look hella small. He does that.
Yeah.
So do you think this is acceptable?
That or that?
All of it. Like do you think his posing routine is acceptable, and if or unacceptable if it's not, what part is it?
I mean, it's still bodybuilding-esque. The thing is men's physique guys don't need to do vacuums at all.
If he put it this way, if he actually hit a vacuum in his comparison round.
But we're talking about bodybuilding and what the category is, right? Men's physique beast body. We want to see abs. We don't want to see no fucking vacuum.
I agree with that, because then you're going to have guys that don't have abs that are going to try to vacuum to fit.
That's not the point, though. That's not the point. Just because you can't. There's people who do the fucking peekaboo move and they look stupid doing it. They'll mean they
That's not hiding what you don't have.
True.
When you do a
he's
vacuum,
not hiding shit, bro. Look at his fucking
Alex, listen, whenever people do a vacuum on the classic stage, it's usually because they do not have a good ab structure.
Ab structure. Yeah.
Okay, first of all, you can't put
But that's right, though, Alex. That is right.
He can't. No, you guys can't cast a wide net and just put everybody in that. And that's not true. There's people who hit it who have crazy abs, but they just have also crazy vacuum. Like, look, bro, he has crazy abs. Absolutely.
But the abs are nice. I'm not saying he don't have
a vacuum.
But that's what I'm saying.
He don't need to do a vacuum. That's what I'm saying. For men's physique, it's an ab shot.
You don't need to do
a
that.
front and the back.
But I get what you're saying, Alex. He's not doing it in comparisons. He's doing it to showcase what he can do on the stage. So I get what you're saying.
And that's what I'm wondering. Like, how much can something stay traditional but limit you in showing your best on stage?
Yeah, this doesn't bother me what he does. It doesn't bother me, but it's when we start, like we said before, whenever you start allowing more and more to happen, it's going to continue from this.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to stop, I guess.
But if it's allowed to happen, they can do what they want, though. That's the thing. And don't get me wrong. If they're allowed,
but you got to understand, you're talking about people who are doing this shit that are not top people. They'll never get in that top doing shit like this. No. And like you're gonna say, oh, you and Ryan Terry do back double biceps. We do it as a transition to get out of that shit.
This is also kind of a transition into his front. I don't agree with it.
A vacuum?
Bro, look, he transitioned out of his back shot, into a front shot with the vacuum. It's a transition. Don't get me wrong. I couldn't do it. I couldn't pull it off anyway. But like I said, I'm more traditional.
He could be doing it because whenever he transitions to the front, he sticks his gut out. And he's like, this is the only way I can keep my gut in from, you know what I'm saying? I get it.
But it's helping him potentially show off his physique in a different way. But
I get what you're saying.
100%. I see what you're talking about.
It's just, I don't know. Like, because I actually like it on him. And
it's like guys that can't get into their back pose and they have to do a lat spread first and then they lift their arms up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, we don't like lat spreads, but I get what you're doing there. So
exactly.
But then, okay, I got another argument. That shit should be docked. If you can't pose, get your ass off the stage.
That's true. That is true. It can go either way.
It should be docked because guess what? It's called front and back shot, not a front and lat spread back shot.
Yeah.
Come on. If you can't pose, if you suck, y'all hear me all the, if you suck, you suck.
Yeah.
Aaron, you're a businessman, right? I want you to put your business cap on for a second.
Oh, it's on.
All right. Hear me when I say this. If you're putting on a show, right? You want to entertain, right? Don't get me wrong. You want to abide by the guidelines of the IFBB, but
Right.
you wouldn't feel some way as a promoter if you saw a guy put on a show for the entire crowd for you?
No, because I would have hired a fucking guest poser or put my sanction fee in for open guys to do routines or classic guys to do routines. Men's physique is not that. Again, we already get the disrespect as it is. Keep our shit simple. Let us go on and get the fuck off the stage.
Yeah, but sometimes you just have to not give a fuck what
Because guess what? The promoters, and you want to talk about business, men's physique, we're bringing the money. We're bringing the most. We're bringing the most guys to these stage. So now you finna sit here and tell me as a promoter, I want to see 1,000 guys go across the stage fucking dancing and doing shit like that? Absolutely not.
Hey, I'm dancing the Masters, baby. You're screwed.
I get what you're saying. It's like if you let a little bit get away, then that's where things can start.
Everybody, bro, you seen it. He did it once. And then all of a sudden we see it again. What's the coincidence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, I think.
Did Urs start a trend?
Urs is posing. See, that's another perfect example. Because a lot of the shit that he doesn't do, like he does a lot of shit for entertaining.
Yeah.
A lot of what his posing routine is entertainment.
What class is he in?
Yeah, but
Oh, I thought so.
Yeah, but him picking up a phone from Jay Cutler on a fucking on the stage that's all entertainment. That's not him showing.
That's entertainment
And
side,
that's
but
also on the Olympia stage in front of however many people. That's entertainment right there. That's
entertainment, but you also got to understand, regardless of what he's doing, prop, fucking ballerina shit, whatever the fuck he does, it's for his class. His class can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
we can't do that. Wait. So that's just like Aaron Banks, we're on stage, right? So I'm hitting my front, I'm gonna hit my back, I'm gonna hit my front, and then I go off to the side and start doing this. I go to this side, trying to pump the fucking crowd out and do this.
Hey, I'm going crazy if he does that.
It's not acceptable though.
No, I get it. I just said, imagine if Bikini Girl started doing that stuff too, pop lock and dropping.
That's what I'm saying. We gotta nip it in the butt.
Come on, Marine, pop it.
Aaron, that made a lot of sense because I was going to ask you the question: if open guys can, or even classic guy can bring props out on stage, can men's physique guys bring them on stage?
Bro, that would be the dumbest shit ever.
But can they? Are they allowed to? Would they get docked down from the IFBB?
Absolutely, they would. I guarantee you, if you brought a fucking prop and Steve saw you, he might say, "Get the fuck off my stage." Bro, I promise you.
There's 100% chance that
or something on stage.
He would snap. There's 100% chance that he would snap and not even let you get through your routine. There's 100%.
Bro, I guarantee you, Steve would get on that mic and tell him to get the fuck off the stage. You're not bringing no prop on no damn Michelin bigger stage if you're a Michelin guy.
That's 100%.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, if Steve was judging that show at St. Pete's, he also would have told Shaun T to get the fuck off the stage.
Oh man.
Hey, he ain't wrong though. He's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong, but
that's what I'm saying, bro. It's the criteria. Like, I wish everybody was just under the same umbrella.
We're always going to seem like the bad guy sticking up for the criteria, but it's the only way that the rules are going to stay in place without it getting.
That's it.
And you can hate us all you want for talking about the shorts being too short or not doing this or that, but it holds the integrity of our division and what we're judging on. So it is what it is.
Listen, we have.
You can hate me all you want.
Yeah.
Aaron knows I started Manifest for a reason. We started this podcast for a reason. It was always to uplift the men's physique division.
Facts.
So I 100% get where you're coming from. All right. So and if anything, if I had to be the guy that like put down the final vote to have this be allowed versus not, again, I wouldn't want this in our sport. But when I'm talking about just seeing him, you're right, Aaron. It's a slippery slope. You let one do it, then everybody else is going to start taking advantage of it. But seeing it in that moment, it was dope, man. Chris, I don't care what you say, bro. Seeing how, more importantly,
I will not agree with you.
God damn.
I think just
it was like,
hey, and he saw my reaction. He saw me, so he knows it's true.
Bro, when I saw it, I swear to God, I thought it was AI.
Aaron, it was on your birthday too. Aaron was pissed on his birthday, bro.
I was pissed the fuck off for my birthday.
Aaron was fighting with
people. I'm telling my girl, I was like, "Do you see this?" I showed her. She was like, "That's not real." I said, "It's real."
Hey, but I'll tell you what, Alex's post had me dying. I opened up my Instagram and it's Alex's face. I
was
lost
waiting for Aaron to freak the fuck
I
out.
lost it.
Oh, I freaked the fuck. I said, "Oh hell no, no! You're not gonna do this. You're not gonna do this clickbait shit to
I
me."
know Alex
Hey,
did it solely for Aaron.
I was waiting
know
for
he did.
Aaron to start losing his shit about clickbait or some shit.
I'm like, boy, look.
Oh, that was
Man,
funny, bro.
but I ain't gonna lie, bro. I got on that phone so quick, started talking to that man. I said, we can't do this.
I'm surprised you didn't reach out to Shaun. I'm surprised you didn't, because not to mention you
I
were.
don't need to, because the thing is, he wasn't gonna take that well.
Yeah.
Pause. He wasn't gonna take that well. He just wasn't gonna take that well. I mean, he had his photographer guy going back and forth with me on your comments. I'm like, bro.
And you're never going to win the argument because they're already in their own head, like they already made their own decision. So it doesn't even matter. There's no point
Facts.
on it. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Honestly, Shaun should not give a single fuck, bro. And
He shouldn't.
I know, and I know
As he shouldn't.
there's no way he does. But
And that's what I said. It ain't hate for me. I'm just fucking. I
he's
know the standard, and this is what I do.
he's a
Like
legend.
I do this.
He's a legend. I think I don't know, man. Like Aaron, I think there's certain things you could get away with that other people couldn't. Just like how there's
What the fuck can I get away? I can't get away with shit. What you mean?
That's a good point.
I can't get away with
Yeah,
motherfucking thing.
That's a good point. But there's certain things that people can get away with others can't. Like on a stage, if Aaron Banks did something, he would be okay doing something compared to a guy who's
But let me tell you what Aaron Banks will do. Aaron Banks will do it professionally. Aaron Banks will not do something that's going to be a different look from another division. Aaron Banks is going to give you men's physique 100%, which is I've always done that. That's why I don't do extra shit, bro. I can't. I'm men's physique for a reason. Hello.
If you know Shaun T, you might give him a pass. Maybe.
I'm not giving him a pass.
Fair enough.
I give him a guest appearance though.
All right.
I'll give him a guest appearance.
The EB Classic in Fresno, California. We'll get Shaun T out there for opposing.
I'll get Shaun T to come out for sure.
That'd be a full
if he accepts it, he might hate me after this shit.
He's not going
to. Okay.
Why are you arguing with people on your birthday?
Bro, I was lit. Bro, you have no. Let me tell you something.
I thought you and Ben were going to get into a fight. I thought you and his videographer or photographer was going to go back and forth. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Oh, I'm not worried about Ben. Ben is an irrelevant person. Like, there's no need to go back and forth with Ben. Ben is a pointless person. A waste of air and a waste of space. But the thing is about the photographer,
without Aaron throwing a little bit of shade at Ben for some reason.
You knew it was coming once.
He said too many nice things that it was inevitable.
He's got it probably written down on a note card. Don't forget to talk about it. It's literally a sticky note at the top right, and he just
at the top right here. But no, even going back and forth with the camera guy, I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm only going back and forth because I know I'm in the right. You know why I know I'm in the right? Because, like I said, when I got on the phone and text that man, and that man sided with me, it was good. You're not gonna tell me I'm wrong. No, you're not telling me I'm wrong. So when everything happens and unfolds, I'm gonna say I told you so. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna laugh in everybody's face. And it looks fucking stupid.
If a video drops anytime soon, Aaron is about to fucking.
Oh, I'm pulling up every screenshot that I took. Boy, watch. I'm gonna laugh at everybody.
Hey, we're gonna get a text message right away in the group chat.
Yeah.
As soon as it drops.
As soon as it drops.
Oh yeah.
I told y'all. Alex, shut your ass up.
It'll be like 3 a.m.
Stop making thumbnails and shit.
Because no, bro, it's like I was saying before. Like, man, I became so fucking passionate about this. Especially this year alone, I think it's a lot more passion behind it, especially from me helping athletes to being that mentor, to being that role model in this division, you know, and to uphold the standard and to do certain things within the industry and to have my name on a show. And next thing you know, start promoting shows and getting ready for the Mr. Olympia and, you know, paying for people's freaking pro card stuff. And, you know, it's just a different passion of mine now. So when things like this happen that don't resonate with our division, like visually, I have to stand up for it, bro. I have to.
Yeah,
I
listen,
have to. I have to keep that standard.
I get it. I get
And if I didn't say something, I don't think like
I don't know. I get it.
I
No,
had to say something.
I get it. Like when I can sit here and actually say, like, I get your perspective and I get the people who don't side with you's perspective, but when you, like you say, when you root it down, I think you have to peel it back from layers. Do you want this more in our sport? If you say yes once, then you can't say no another time.
Bro, okay. And here's another thing. This may come off wrong, but I don't give a damn. Why do you think they didn't bring that damn men's wellness over here?
Oh yeah, no,
Go do that over there.
yeah,
Go put on chonies and
that's
put your
different,
blood
bro.
out and do all that over there.
That's different.
Don't do that over here.
Where do they do that, bro? That's not the IFBB?
Brazil.
The IFBB?
Hey, I'd make a lot of
It's
money
not.
going to Thailand though for recruiting.
Hey, yo. That's a wild statement, bro. All right, we're out on this note. All right, before we get, do you guys like having like guests on for like a short segment?
Oh, I love it.
Like
We can do a short segment for sure.
Well, I'm just saying, like, all right, so we say there was like 2-3 shows this week and we were recapping all of them, right?
Just bring them on at a different
Bring
time
them on
frame.
at different times so they're not on too long, and then also like we're a little bit
But that'll still keep our little thing that
it'll-
we got talking and
it'll
going
force
on with
us
what
to
we
stay
do.
consistent. I think it gets more people on here, right? And like you said, it keeps the flow going a little bit. And I think
It added a little bit more viewership too, because it is different people's crowds
Yeah,
coming
want
to
hear their stories
the
and stuff,
page.
yeah.
I love the fact that our podcast, it's not relying on anybody. We just get on here and we can talk our own shit and be
And do what we do. Yeah.
Like we don't have to bring on guests, but like you said, I think it's a good idea to bring different bodies on. Uh-oh. One of them's in trouble?
No.
I thought he was yelling at somebody.
No, my girl was walking by.
You guys going on vacation soon?
Yeah, we leave tomorrow. Guadalajara Harbor.
All right, brother.
One of my favorite hotels. Ooh, should be lit.
Go enjoy yourself.
You know I will. Yeah. It's she on my nerves right now, but it's gonna happen.
He's contemplating.
Good. You need it.
Like, no, that's the thing is bro, if your girl don't nag or bug you, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a part of the thing, bro. It's a part of the process, man.
Yep.
I mean, everybody go through fights and arguments, and if you can come out of it, you good. Most people you can, but I mean, there's some shit that men do that some women shouldn't accept. But
I think you can.
We all go through it. We all go through it as men, and we all have been in relationships. We've all been in failing relationships. The thing is when you find that one, you gonna fight, and then you gonna make up. Period. And you're gonna move on with your life, because at the end of the day, like, regardless of that being my girl, like, that's my business partner too. I've invested money, like big money. So at the end of the day, it's like,
it's a good point.
Y'all better suck it up. Like, like one thing we won't do is mess up our money. You know what I mean? So exactly. That's another good positive thing about having a partner that you are in business with, because I mean, you got to make it work regardless of an argument or how y'all feel, or bad day or not bad day.
It's very easy to focus on the negative in a relationship, especially when you're in it, right? The honeymoon starts to fade a little bit. You got love for each other, but at the same time, it's a lot easier for things to get under your guys' skin. But that's the moment when you guys truly find whether or not you're made for each other. So, like you said,
absolutely,
Aaron, during your little fights here and there, that's your girl, no matter what happens.
Fact.
So it don't matter. And that's for anybody else out there watching right now. Bodybuilding will put your relationship through a lot. I'm sure that's not what's going on with you personally, but nonetheless, make sure you actually take a step back, put your pride aside, and understand what you got. Otherwise, I'm telling you right now,
it's going to be gone. That shit going to be gone so quick.
Relax. All right, fellas.
So that's the thing. Yep.
Aaron, enjoy your vacation. Chris, always good seeing you, brother. And until the next episode.
All right, guys.